Hello and welcome to another video on the Super Bits and Bobs YouTube channel. Now today I'm going to be playing F-Zero on the Super Famicom. Before I do, a couple of things. Firstly, with each video I'm trying to improve the quality of the image. I'm pretty green to all of this pointing a camera at a TV screen and filming. Sounds easy on paper, but I have to say I've found it quite difficult with settings, trying to find an image quality that looks really good on YouTube. If any of you guys got any tips, that'd be great if you could post them up, just settings to use, etc. I'm not sure if it makes any difference, but I'm using a Canon PowerShot SX220 camera. So as I said, with each video I'm trying to improve the quality, but I hope they're not too bad. Second thing before we get started on the game, turn my light on, is I just want to show you the artwork for the box. There we go. Now hopefully you can see that, which is fantastic. You know, it's I really don't know what the hell we did in this country with boxed artwork, Sega and Nintendo in the PAL regions. Just some of them were just awful in comparison to the Japanese ones, which is quite odd really, because I think I always thought the British were sort of had a reputation of being quite quirky, but the Japanese ones, the box art was certainly a lot quirkier than ours, and maybe that's why we didn't get those. They just thought the Japanese we wouldn't get on with the Japanese box art. It's a shame because they were much better in my opinion. Anyway, on to the game. I'm going to be playing as Wild Goose. He was the character that I sort of learnt the game with, if you like, when I first started playing. It was the first game on the Super Famicom to use mode 7, which effectively was just a technique that simulated a 3D environment really. As you can see, the 3D plane is quite flat, very flat basically. But certainly the sense of speed it gives is very impressive. I think visually it looks quite good as well. You know, I mean, strangely all the tracks, even though the plane is quite flat, all the tracks certainly have their own character. And their own little atmosphere. I mean, I certainly thought when I first started playing the game, I thought to myself, oh, these tracks are going to get really competitive because it's so flat. But no, you know, I mean, they do. Each track really does have its own character. The game came out in 1990, I believe. I don't know if it was a release title for the Super Famicom, but it was very, very close because I remember. As soon as the Super Famicom came out in Japan, I picked one up from an importer with a copy of F-Zero, and it really was a system seller, the game. Certainly for me and some friends. I mean, 2 or 3 friends actually bought a Super Nintendo when it came out in the UK based on playing F-Zero. It was that type of game. I don't think we'd seen anything like it before, certainly not on consoles, maybe on PC, but certainly consoles that had not done this before, and it was very, very impressive. Strangely, I actually found the game quite bland when I first started playing it. A lot of the early game basically consists of you going along a track, as you can see, with not many AI opponents in front of you to overtake. This turns out to be quite a good thing in the end. I think again it was perfect design from Nintendo. You just get the hang of things, the handling of your character for the first class. Certainly later on in the game, when you get onto the higher classes and the harder difficulty levels, the game does get quite hard, quite challenging. Some of the track design is amazing, but very tricky. And the AI opponents they're real bastards later on. It gets to a point where every time you go past one, you know they want to have a little go at you. You know, a bit like the Marcus Schumacher of the F-Zero world. You know, you go past them. Certainly more so as you get further into the game, and you're just waiting for one of them to give you a whack. This was kind of like the campaign mode, if you like. Essentially, you had to finish within the top 3 in a race to progress to the next race. As you can see up there, it says save 3 in the top left corner. That's basically the position you need to be in when you finish the race to progress to the next track. You get a couple of turbos. I mean, I haven't used any turbos here, but you get a couple of turbos to use. Each time you finish a lap, I think you get an extra turbo to use, so they're helpful as well. You have a power bar when you collide with someone or go along the side of the track there. You do lose power, and just on the left there you can see that yellow part of the track. If you go over that, a little ship comes along and gives you your power back, so that you need to keep an eye on that as well. But certainly there's a ton of depth to the game. As I said, I mean, initially I thought it was quite sparse, but later on, the further in the game you get, it really does open up. And also, I mean, you know, the best feature on F-Zero and many racing games is a time attack. You know, the time attack is just fantastic on this game. I used to spend so many weeks, literally, trying to shave off 100 seconds off of best times on certain laps. That it really, you know, it's from a game that initially was feeling that there wasn't much to it when I first started playing it. The amount of depth is quite amazing, and time attack is where it's at. You know, when you first get the game, you'll play through the campaign and finish all the tracks, but ultimately time attack is where you'll be coming back to most of the time. And as you can see, I don't know if you noticed it on the screen here. I don't know if the quality's good enough, but each track for me is quite different. You know, there's a different feeling to it. The music goes some way to helping that. Yeah, so again, from initially thinking I was going to get quite bored with the tracks, there's quite a bit of variety in there. You also get lives, which I think was a strange thing in a racing game. You start off with 2, and as your score goes up, you get more lives. So if you don't finish a race within the position you need to, or if you blow up because you run out of power, you lose a life and you can start again. So in that way, it's a bit like a more standard arcade game with lives. I'm not sure what that blue bit. Oh my god! Well, as you can see, what a complete fuck up that was. These guys here, these flashing guys, I think they're the ones that have been bashed about and hit the side too much, and their energy is nearly run out. So if you collide with them, you do lose quite a bit of energy. What a space for a turbo. There you go. Sometimes you get a ping pong effect when you just get smashed from one side of the track to the other. This is terrible. I do apologise. I mean, I hadn't played the game for a while, and I have had a couple of goes before I did the video. That's no excuse. Normally I just walk through these tracks. I think it's the old playing and talking at the same time. I didn't realise it was so hard watching you guys until I first started trying to do it. Coming up on the Blue Falcon. That's the other thing. I've never mentioned it before, but the other thing that added quite a lot of depth to the game was the fact that all the vehicles handle really differently. I went from Wild Goose here to Blue Falcon, and it was almost like playing a different game. Handling of the vehicle and things you can get away with and things you can't get away with is completely different. So yeah, I mean, again, that was more added depth to the game, the way the vehicle's handled. There is a little trick where you can get a turbo boost away from the line. I think if you push the accelerate button at a certain point when the countdown at the start of the race is going on, you get a little turbo boost away from the line. As you can see there, very aggressive, the AI. I mean, it quickly gets very aggressive. You try and overtake someone, they will have a go at you. And they'll come up behind you as well and give you a whack. I believe that was an extra life there. I'm sure most of you know this about Mode 7, but the thing I noticed after a short while when I first started playing F-Zero was I don't think that the vehicle itself actually moves. I think when you move your vehicle left and right, it's the plane around you that's moving rather than your vehicle. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't really notice it, and right, so I think the battery's getting quite low on the camera, so I think I'll end the video there. This was F-Zero on Super Famicom. Certainly recommend it. If it's a game that you've never played on Super Famicom and you own one, pick one up. I think you can pick up the Japanese version. Please get the Japanese version, you'll love the artwork. I think you can probably pick it up for £10–20 on eBay or privately, so yeah, definitely one to get. One of the best games on the machine in my opinion. Thank thanks very much for watching. I'll speak to you again soon, and if anyone does have any tips on shooting videos, then please put them up, and much appreciated. Thank you.